Today we're going to talk about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence just means being able to recognize and understand your feelings as they happen. Your emotions are a large part of who you are. They affect your willingness to pay attention, your decision making, whether you're going to engage in something or not engage in something. And so being aware of emotions is pretty important to us as human beings. It's important to recognize and be able to express emotion. Being able to regulate emotion is an important skill for overall well-being and development. In swimming, from practice to meets, we experience a wide range of emotions, and these emotions can have positive effects on our performance and they can have negative effects on our performance. And so emotional intelligence is important to us because we want to be able to recognize emotions as they come up and process them and be able to express them in a way that doesn't have a negative impact on your performance. I mean, just take a swim meet, for example, right? You're standing behind the blocks. You might feel nervous. You might feel anxious. You might feel stressed. These are all things that might come up behind the blocks, and they can have a negative impact on your performance. And so it's very important for us to be able to recognize that anxiety as it comes up behind the blocks so that we can respond, express, and deal with it appropriately. And same thing, it's a different case if we're feeling nervous or if we're feeling stressed, because we need to respond in a different way to make sure that it doesn't affect our performance. Remember, it's always okay to feel whatever emotion you're feeling, but sometimes we need to regulate how we express that emotion, because that expression can have an impact on what we do. It can also have an impact on the other people around us. And it takes time and practice to be able to accurately label the emotion that you're feeling. Sometimes they're more complex than just feeling scared or happy or excited or nervous. Sometimes they're more complex for that, and we can't quite put a finger on exactly how we're feeling. And so getting into the practice of recognizing emotions as we feel them and giving them the proper label helps us respond to them better, but it also helps us get a better sense of the overall emotional range that we feel and being able to respond to the overall emotional range that we feel. So I want you to try this exercise. So throughout a day, you can pick a day, either this weekend or early next week, and throughout a day, just have maybe a notepad or a piece of paper and a pencil handy. And whenever you feel an emotion, I want you to try and label it, as best you can. If you know what emotion it is, label it, write it down, say, I felt this, and then write down how you responded. What did you do with that emotion? So if you woke up and you got excited because you had pancakes, what did you do with that excitement? Did you express gratitude to the people who made pancakes possible for you? Did you rush and eat your pancakes right away? Anything like that. And throughout the day, just try and write down those emotions that you feel as they come up and how you respond to them. And if you can't label an emotion, if you can't figure it out, just write down what you're feeling in a couple of sentences, and then maybe you can come back to it and figure out how to label that emotion. Remember that our emotions are a large part of who they are, and they can have positive and negative impacts on what we do, on our performance in athletic abilities, and in our relationships with the people around us. So it's very, very important for us to be able to figure out how to label and respond and express our emotions in a way that's going to have an overall net positive impact on what we're trying to accomplish.